Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tingling Tea, where we spill this tea on the strange and the supernatural, the weird and the wonderful, the creepy and the cryptid, and the phenomenally freaky. As always, this evening, I have my team from Clip Dive Productions. First, I have Miss Annabelle Chimpton.
Ooh.
Ooh, it's Halloween coming soon. I
It's
just love
Halloween
it.
and I'm out of the crypt.
I see. You're in something a little bit more warm,
I
I
thought it was
suppose.
only appropriate for the spookiest month of the year to show up in a striped shirt and no crypt for this very special episode.
Oh, that definitely would have clashed. Definitely would have clashed. So I just want to give them a little bit of a background on you. You are a skeptic, but you are interested in reasonable people who experience unreasonable things. And you grew up in a haunted house, which we will find out a little bit more about that later on in some of our episodes. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Oh, wow. I can't wait to hear those stories. But we can't go any further unless we introduce our other partner, August Peterson.
Hello.
Hello, August. Happy
Hello.
Happy October.
Happy October, my favorite month.
Yep,
I
it's
love
all our
October.
favorite months. It's all our favorite months.
Spooktober.
Wait a minute. Do both of you all have a birthday in October?
I do. Heck yeah.
One of us has a birthday in October,
Oh, and the other one has one shortly after, I assume.
November.
Okay.
Ah,
All right.
yeah.
Well,
So I am a Scorpio, and everything they say is true.
You heard it
well, I hope
first.
not.
Oh, it's true.
Well, anyway, let me just give everybody a background on you. For those of you who don't know about August, August grew up in a home where his mother and his sister claimed that they saw things, but he believes that science can validate anything that seems to be supernatural or unreasonable. However, he believes that if it can't be explained, that he's could consider it. Is that right? You would consider it if it can't be explained by science.
Absolutely. I think there are definitely things that we have just not explored, we have not found. We are just on the verge of discovering, and I'm totally open to that.
Okay. And then last but not least, we can't go this evening without saying hi to Hash, who's in the background, who's driving this machine for us for Evo Comics. Thank you, Hash. You do such a wonderful job. Even though this is paining you to listen to all this scary content, and I purposely picked some really scary stuff for you. He's gonna ask us to pay for his psych bills at some point.
As long as he has Obamacare, then I'm okay with it.
Hey. All right. This evening, we'd like to speak to our audience. A lot of the content that we discuss may be not to your liking. It might be too creepy for you. So if you want to turn us down or turn us off, we're okay with that. Especially too if you have kids watching. Sometimes, the content that we're going to show may not be good for them. So we ask that you use your discretion as a parent. And I mean, really use your discretion as a parent when watching this show. All right. So since we all love October, I know that we all have like rituals that we do for October. And I'm not talking about witch rituals. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm not talking about Wiccan rituals or anything.
You never know.
I mean,
You
you're
never
not talking about that.
I'm not talking about that. No, not yet. But I have like a ritual. My ritual is that I binge watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel for the whole entire month. And I also get all of my favorite haunted, scary films and I watch all of those too. So that's my little ritual that I do. Oh, and I have to have hot apple cider, caramel, and of course, candy and popcorn. Okay, what's yours, Annabelle?
My ritual is the day after Halloween. You go to the store, the candy's 50% off,
Ooh, that's a good ritual.
and you buy it for the rest of the year. But I try to get out, and I like to go to like the spooky vendor fairs where it's like local artists that are selling like jewelry made out of bones and stuff. I think we might have actually
Mm.
found one that's happening during COVID, even this weekend here in Portland, that we're going to try and go to tomorrow, and maybe even a pandemic aware haunted house.
Oh, I might be doing that as well. And I want to give a special shout out to everybody at the New Jersey Horror Con. We sure miss you this time of the year because most of my creepiest things I buy at that particular con. So I really miss everybody there. How about you, August?
Oh my gosh. So October is definitely the my favorite time of year, not just because it's my birthday, but because I love a good haunt and a good scare. So I have to begin October, and every day in October I have to watch some sort of haunted, scary horror movie
Mhm.
every night. Got to do it. So I definitely do that. I always go apple picking, and I love apple picking. So I always go apple picking, and I eat way too many apple cider donuts, like in exorbitant amounts of apple cider donuts and cider, which is good too. Not as good as when you have spiked cider, which is something that we do as well.
Yes.
I like that. That's a good thing.
I
And
like that
then,
Strongbow apple cider.
yes, that's good too.
That's a good.
So when I was younger, I haven't been able to do this lately, but when I was younger, I would actually, and growing up in Connecticut, I would actually take my entire basement and make it into a haunted house for the neighborhood. So people would pay a certain amount of money, which is like nothing, like 50 cents or something. And they would come in, and you'd have a bunch of people from the neighborhood that kicked into it. And they would all help out, and we would create. Oop, I'm hearing something.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. So we would create this haunted house for all the kids to come in, and it would be a family friendly thing, but we would have a blast, and it was really something that brought everybody together in the neighborhood.
Mhm.
And then we would end up, of course, you end up all having a big party afterward, and having a lot of fun. So I just have such wonderful memories about Halloween, getting dressed up, walking around, taking in hauls of candy, like massive hauls of candy. I just have a lot of wonderful memories about it. So I try
I
to
do
live
too.
on what I can.
I do too. I have my best friend Lisa Sergowitz. We used to go out every Halloween, me and
I
her
thought I was your
sister.
best friend, Les. What's
This
up?
was back
What's
in
up
the
with that?
past when I was in the third grade, and
Oh, oh,
you were just a blink in somebody's eye then that time,
oh,
like a twinkle
okay.
in
As
somebody's
long as
eye.
it was before I showed up. All right.
Yeah, it was way before you showed up. But Lisa and I and her sister, Lori, and her best friend, we used to all go out trick or treating together. Oh my gosh, it was just glorious. It was a simpler time, you know. Nobody was thinking about doing anything into your candy. People actually had haunted houses that you would walk into. You know, nobody was. It just was. It was just a different time. It really was. And so I only have wonderful memories of those times myself because of that. You know, but
Definitely. I remember going into haunted houses that were, put on by the JCs, or put on by some sort of group in the, raising money for some good cause. When I was a very young kid, and I remember my dad would carry me through, and I was scared out of my mind. I was so scared because I did not know what was going on. I was not old enough to be in this. So I don't recommend you do that for your very young kids,
that's what's
but
wrong with you.
something's wrong. I'll have to talk. I haven't talked about that with my therapist yet, but I'll make sure I bring that up. Maybe
Absolutely.
that's the root cause. I don't know.
Explains a
Well,
lot.
yeah, exactly. So I know that we all like to watch movies.
Oh yeah.
So for these next couple of weeks, I'd really like to talk about like our favorite movies. I wish we could have like a top 20, but I know that it goes beyond that our list would go beyond 20. So tonight, let's just feature five of our favorite films, why we like the film, uh, let the audience know about the film if they've never seen the film before, and why you love the film. So I'm gonna go with you, August, first. Tell us
Ah,
about your favorite top five right now that you could
well,
think of.
the number one has to be Halloween. Halloween
Oh,
has got to be number one. It is no more of a classic exists than the beautifully and cheaply made Halloween movie that came out so long ago, but still is the benchmark for so many movies. I mean, talk about an independent movie, one that was made for a very small amount of money, one that has that wonderful 70s grit. There's this fantastic the 70s and 80s had such a fantastic horror movie output. It had Jamie Lee Curtis in just a stunning role. I mean, look at these. This is like where it all began. This is where all of the different teenage slasher movies. This is where it began, and I have to give it to them. I mean, this was genuinely scary. I mean, to not have much money, to literally have to go and search for a mask, and we'll end up with like William Shatner's thrown away mask, like discarded mask, and be like, this is the bad guy. Like, they were trying really hard, and the scares in this movie are genuinely scary. Like
mhm.
and it all has to do with the buildup, the slow buildup, the anticipation, all of these faraway shots of this I forget what they called in the script. It's like the figure or something like that. This sort of faceless, sort of otherworldly, just evil presence. They did it in such a wonderful way, and they made it accessible to everyone. It's not like, maybe going to a camp is not an experience that everybody understands. Going down a middle class road, seeing these houses, seeing seeing the yards and the homes right next to each other, and it took that very wonderful feeling that people had of security, and it sort of blew it up,
You know
which
what?
I thought was great.
There is so both Annabelle and I play Dead by Daylight, and they give Michael Myers, the character, the antagonist, I guess, in this film.
You guess he's definitely the
Yeah,
antagonist.
he's
Yeah.
the antagonist. They do
Is
have a name
he?
for him. What is his name?
I was I was just questioning if he was the antagonist.
Yeah, he is. Look, but can I just say something about this? So this is a John Carpenter film, and I have to tell you, there is nothing like a John Carpenter film.
Mhm.
One thing that I do know about this is that he made it, this the Haddonville is someplace in Illinois. And when I first saw this film, I actually thought that it was filmed in Illinois. I know that they filmed it in California somewhere, but the houses,
In
the way that they
Hollywood,
have the street,
it's right
yeah,
in
Hollywood,
Hollywood, actually.
it made it look so much like the homes that I used to trick or treat in. Used to trick or treat going to each one of these houses. I was terrified when I saw this movie. I was terrified. All I could think about is that Michael Myers was behind, Mrs. Johnson's house down the street, because
Of
this is what
course.
a street in Illinois looks like. Um, he also wrote the music, and it just was
Mm,
perfect. So if
perfect.
anybody saved a buck on this film, he did, and I'm sure he got a good payout on this afterwards.
Are you
He hit,
kidding
he hit
me?
the payload on this, because when I saw this film, and you all were very young when this film came out, this was one of my first horror films to see this, along with Friday the 13th, but this was prior to that. I was
That
terrified.
mask.
Yes, I was terrified. Such
That
a good
mask
movie.
is perfect.
Yeah, for just
Perfect.
perfect. Okay, so what's your second favorite?
All right. So this is one that is similarly creepy, but it's done. It was actually made a little not too long ago. Actually, it was made in 2015, and it's called It Follows. And It
Yeah.
Follows is such a fantastic movie because they don't feel the need to explain what's going on. It's just happening, and it's happening to the main character, and she's doing everything she can to understand it, but it's still not explained. And she throughout the entire film, she thinks she's learning more about what this is, and slowly you see this sort of unnamed thing impact the behavior of people all around her, people that she thought were safe, people that she had a good relationship with that person. Oh well.
That's the reason why the thing came.
Oh, that's right.
With that
Yes.
person.
That's right. So, so it talks, very much. You see a lot of these slasher movies talk about negative things about being morally good, right? So all the things that we experience about values and that sort of thing. So the people that are not morally representative of what we've decided is good, they die, and the people that are, you always have to be a virgin to live, and that sort of thing. And this actually, you end up identifying with the person that had sex, which I thought was a really good twist, right? Because normally it's the virgin, and this time it's not the virgin, but you are rooting for her, and I really liked that. I just love the way this gets under your skin as you continue to watch this movie. There's something about it that just makes you feel uneasy. And then the camera comes back and you're starting to watch it and be sort of a voyeur as to what's going on from a distance. And, Hitchcock did that. And I think to incredible effect in this particular movie.
One of the things that they did in this movie, which they captured, was that 1970s feel.
Oh, yes.
Yes, of the traditional horror film made in the 1970s, like Halloween, like Friday the 13th. They captured that feel. And I believe that they filmed this in Detroit, or did this happen in Detroit?
Filmed in Detroit, yes. Yeah. And it took fantastic use of the sort of Detroit landscape, sort of that downtrodden neighborhood feel that can't seem to, there just seems to be no life in it anymore. And it was something that was once thriving and now is no longer. So it gives you this sense of everything is slowly dying around you, which is just so impactful in this movie. I think this is
that shot right there.
Yeah. That is it's a really amazing movie. That's a good one, August.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one, so I might have to add this to my.
Annabelle.
This is movie. I was really shocked. I've seen this.
Wait a minute, I think I recommended this movie for you, August.
I think you did too.
Yes, I did.
I think you did too, actually. When I watched it, I just fell in love. And I love doing this. I love not having any expectations about a movie and not knowing anything about it and just going in and let the movie happen in front of me. This was one of those movies that I had no expectations. I showed up and it just impacted me so much. I still feel it on my insides. It's just so good. I just love it. I thought they did a tremendous job.
Okay, so what would be your third film?
Well, my third is, again, we go back to the 70s, which is one of my favorite time periods. And even if they try to mimic the 70s, I love it too. Sort of a gritty feeling. And that is Carrie.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't Carrie amazing? Yeah. So Carrie. So I think Carrie is one of the most beautifully shot movies. And it has this fantastic dynamic where you just fall in love with the character of Carrie. You just feel so badly for her in her particular situation. She gets, no support from her mother. She gets ridiculed at school over and over again. The people that try and help her don't do a good enough job to help her, even though they try. It is an amazing movie. Ultimately, and it has an amazing cast, right? So Sissy Spacek, William Catt. It has an incredible cast.
Piper Laurie as her
Piper
mom.
Laurie as her mom, who's just totally off her rocker.
She's a phenomenal. Oh my gosh, she's phenomenal in that movie.
She's amazing. So, and then you have this scene, right, where the famous scene where the pig's blood is poured on top of her after she wins what was it, prom princess or whatever that is,
Prom princess.
whatever, prom queen. I don't know what that. So prom queen. So and then she, sets everything on fire telepathically. She really is uncontrollable with. It's fantastic because it's like she's coming into her own. It's almost like a coming of age movie
So
where she's finding her power.
This is a Stephen King. This is based on a Stephen King novel, if anybody doesn't know. And this was shot by Brian De Palma. So this is why you fell in love with all of the imagery in this, because De Palma has a way of filming things as a director that it's almost like you're watching a train wreck in slow motion. He actually does things in slow motion, but you're watching the train wreck. And in that, there's always some kind of shock level after the slow motion movement. But you know it's coming, but you don't know when it is, and you still get scared.
And really, this section right after she gets the pig blood, all the way to the end of the movie is, it's not shot in slow motion, but the characters are moving very, very slowly. And it's just this horrific imagery that comes out slowly in front of you, which is so interesting to watch.
So I have an admission.
You've watched this, right?
No.
I've watched the remake.
No.
Oh, no. That's the worst.
No. Always go back and watch the authentic one.
This is a million times better.
It's much better. I don't think that there is any remake that has been made that can rival the original. I really don't. If you could think of one, audience, let me know, but I don't think so, especially when it comes to horror films.
Aliens 2. Aliens 2.
That was not a remake, though. That was the second part of a movie. Aliens 2 was not a remake.
Was Carrie just a remake?
Of
the original?
There wasn't a, yes, it came out in the 90s, I believe. There was a remake of Carrie, and it was just terrible. It has no imagination. There's nothing like watching the original film.
The original.
Yes.
It's perfect. It's gorgeous.
Yes, it's perfect. Okay, so what is your fourth one?
All right. So this is one that I moved ahead a little bit in my time periods. Not very much. Moved it to the early 80s. And this is one that I didn't know about for a long time. And once I saw it, I realized it was one of my favorite movies ever. And that is The Evil Dead.
Okay. There's the exception. That was remade, and it was good when it was remade. There's the exception right there.
The Evil Dead is one of the most hilarious, crazy, gory, ridiculous, fun, spastic, fantastic adventures in a roller coaster kind of way that you will go on if you watch a horror movie. It is so much fun and hilarious at the same time.
So I saw this on my first date in college.
What? You saw this in the movie theater? I'm so jealous.
No. I saw this as a student in the student hall on my first date with my first boyfriend. And I was terrified because I had never seen anything like this before. Now, you think it's hilarity now because, special effects have been way advanced when you were born. But this was horrific in so many terms. I don't think that I actually opened my eyes. I think I sat like this the whole film.
Well, the sound effects are so good in this movie that you can't get away with just closing your eyes. Everything is an assault. I find it to be hilarious. But I definitely, if I saw this would be a really successful date night for me.
Yeah. I'd love to see some more photos. Can you show us some little photos of that, Hash? Because let's just look at some of the special effects. Now, they didn't use very much special effects. This is just somebody that painted the face, but it was so effective because of what was going on in the scene. She just used her own voice. She just used, look at it. The makeup doesn't even go all the way down to her chest, but I'm telling you, this was effective. This just looks like somebody just used, red pencil on her and stuff. And
if you look at it too close, it's almost just like a children's fair face paint.
Yes, it does look like that in a way.
What's so fantastic is it's like that. It's definitely not very doesn't look very hard to do. But when you contrast this particular person with the character that you saw right before it. There's such a contrast of their behavior and their acting and their physicality that it just is horrifying to watch, because you meet the characters and they're normal, right? And they're just sort of plain people that you feel like you know and recognize, and then they turn into this crazy hysterical person.
Demons, yes.
So yes, and this is the really, for a demon, I think this one has really good hair, actually.
Yeah,
I mean, look at that wave. What is happening?
Looks so hydrated.
that's definitely an
doesn't it?
80s wave here. Obviously, Sam Raimi, who directed this film, he was on a tight budget as well. He spent all of his money on the prosthetics right here, because these were effective, and all of the fake blood that they had to use for this film.
This is so effective. It introduces you to some classic characters. It is just a wonderful joyride to go on.
My man Ash.
There he is, Mr.
Iconic
Ash.
Ash.
He is amazing, and they did nothing but improve on it in all the sequels. I think this movie and the sequels are just over the top fun.
Yep.
So I have to watch this every year.
Yeah, you're reminding me that I need to add this back to my watch list this month.
Oh yeah.
And
this
all
is
three.
A classic.
Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness, all three.
And it has this spooky place, and it has like a wonderfully fun director and camera angles, and it just sets it up so well. It's entertaining from beginning to end.
I think one of the things that was effective in this is how Sam Raimi actually filmed it, because there is this technique is a signature Sam Raimi technique where the camera goes, it's like juts. And it goes real fast, or he zooms real fast into the character or into it is signature Sam Raimi.
Perfect. And you embody, you are the evil person going after the good guy. So it's really hilarious.
First person view from the camera, that you are the antagonizer in that, or the killer in this.
Absolutely. So effective.
What's your fifth one?
All right. So my fifth and my final one is, all right, I brought us into this decade. So, or actually, I don't even think it is this decade anymore. It's actually 2004. So it's Shaun of the Dead.
How can you not?
Who does not love this movie? I think this was a fantastic movie because you immediately fall in love with the first the characters, and you immediately recognize that things are massively amiss going on right around them, and they have no idea. They are just completely oblivious. So the audience is reacting the whole time until they finally discover that they have, they're in a big problem and they need to figure it out. And then they all decide to go to the pub, which is such an English thing and hilarious in and of itself, and think that if they get to the pub, they'll survive this zombie apocalypse. And you slowly see these characters who you got to know turn into zombies and have to deal with all the other people in such a hilarious way. This is one of my favorites. I love the mixture of horror and comedy. I just think it's a great marriage. And again, this is a very fun ride to go on from beginning to end. Like you get on in the beginning and you can't get off. It's fantastic.
Highly recommend.
Yes.
All right.
There you go.
Oh, good. Fantastic choices.
Thank you.
Probably have to catch that up. I have to revisit some of those that I hadn't thought about this year. Those are definitely ones. And how about you, Annabelle? What are your top 5 that you would like to recommend to the audience?
So I want to give a disclaimer based on the list we just came from. I'm going to be a little less spooky.
Okay.
But a little more fun spooky with my list. So the very top of my list is an absolute Halloween favorite. It would surprise me if anyone here has not seen it. It is Hocus Pocus.
Oh, I love that one.
I have a confession. I have never seen Hocus Pocus.
Get on that then.
Oh no, this is
Definitely
worse
get on
than
that.
me not having seen like the original Carrie. Or
Yeah, I don't think it is, but okay.
this is fundamental Halloween for millennials. It is just like everything you love about the holiday served in the most campy way possible. We have the three sisters. We have the trick-or-treaters. The story is, topical. The whole point is that these three witches come back to terrorize the town. I'm pretty sure that it happens in Salem, Oregon. Not Salem, Oregon. Salem, Massachusetts. Sorry, we have a Salem, Oregon.
Just on the other side of the country. It's all right.
It's memorable. It's memorable down to them flying on the vacuum cleaner instead of a broom at the end of it.
And think about it. You've got Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy DeJimmy. What could go wrong in this film?
I
You
love
got two
all of
wonderful,
them.
all three of them. Yes. How could you not love? Even though these witches are supposed to be very bad, you can't help but love them.
Yeah, they're supposed to be bad, but it's not scary. It's
Oh, wow.
everything about this movie is like makes me feel like it's Halloween when I watch it. Like this is the one that I get stoked about. So that's why I had it at the top of my list and why I have it as a must see. Eddie, August, I think you should see it.
I have a confession. I was watching YouTube today, and this came up on my feed. It was actually a live concert by Bette Midler where she turned into this character and did it in her show.
Oh,
And so I watched that, and then I thought I have to watch Hocus Pocus, and I turned on the TV, and there was an advertisement for Hocus Pocus. So the universe is telling me.
That sounds like Xander to me.
We might have to explain that to our audience.
Not yet.
Moving on.
Go ahead.
So number 2. This is one that I hope you've all seen because it is a movie that I always love to come back to. Let's go back to The Lost Boys.
Oh, of course, yes.
The quintessential vampire movie, in my opinion.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. I mean,
Well, I wouldn't say quintessential, but I would say, as far as modern vampires go, absolutely.
It just sets the stage so perfectly, I think, for vampires that come after it. Down to like the music through the entire time. I can never remember the title song, but it just like gets me in that headspace that, oh my God, we're about to see some vampires and some vampire hunting.
It's such an iconic beginning of the movie where they're at the fair, and then you see from the sort of vampire's perspective, but you don't know yet that it's the vampire descending on the victim. It's so interesting to watch.
The signature song is "Cry Little Sister."
I love it. The entire
Sister.
soundtrack is so spot on for this movie.
Yes, definitely, and definitely 80s, totally
Oh,
80s.
yeah.
You know,
It oozes 80s.
and very California weird. That's what I could say.
Very
about
California. I have to tell you, I was like not wanting to go to California after watching The Lost Ones. I was thinking, wow, there's a bunch of crazy people in California. I never want to go there. Oh, and they had the Coreys in this movie.
Yes, the Coreys were in this movie. The two best friends were in this movie.
Yeah.
That's why it was so good. The relationship between them and the brothers was so good because they were best friends, and you absolutely can feel that popping off the screen.
Definitely. I remember Jason, who's the lead?
Jason, oh gosh.
Oh, that's him right there. I forget his name. Jason. He and Kiefer Sutherland. I remember them from
Jason
this particular
Patrick.
movie. Jason Patrick,
Yes.
I remember them from this movie, and they were just amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, there they are.
It just It's an amazing, amazing movie. Anyone that's watching this that hasn't seen it, this is one I'd highly recommend getting onto.
Well,
Totally.
I will always remember Timmy Capello singing "I Still Believe" at the beginning with no shirt on, playing that saxophone.
That's what I remember from this.
I do too.
I'm like, every time I see that, I'm like, damn, I'm so mad that I'm too young to have experienced this.
It was something. That's what I have to say. It made the movie, the beginning of the movie, let's say. Everything else made it, but that was quite a spectacle.
Yeah.
I feel like you had your sexual awakening during this movie.
I was like, what is that? That's what I was doing. Yes. Hashtag
Saxophone.
a saxophone. Yes, it was very saxophone-ish. All right, what's your next one, Annabelle?
So the next movie that I have on my list should come. I don't think is much of a surprise because it's another iconic kind of Halloween franchise, in my opinion. Addams Family 1,
Oh,
the 1991 version. It's I don't even know where to start with this. Like the aesthetic of this movie is like, yeah, that's awesome. You know?
yeah, yeah,
I definitely remember when this came out. There was such a huge like Adams Family resurgence when this came out because of this
yeah,
movie, and
yeah,
so warranted. So the whole history of the Adams Family and the cartoons and that was unbelievable. And then to bring it to life with that cast,
yeah. It was exceptional because
wow.
I could never unsee Carolyn Jones and John Astin playing Morticia
Hmm.
and Anna Gomez,
Yeah.
but seeing Raul Julia and my girl and
Angelica Houston.
Angelica used to play in this. Oh my gosh, it just was like just everybody. It was perfection. It was perfection.
Beautiful.
It's just everything you want.
Mm-hmm.
This cast
Absolutely.
is
Look at
just
that. Look at that
unstoppable.
cast. Wow. Yep.
The
Just
you
amazing.
know, it kind of makes me want to do a Morticia costume for Halloween now.
I think you would make a really good Morticia.
I think you would too. I think so too. Oh my goodness.
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week. I wouldn't mind
Definitely.
being Wednesday. Oh my goodness.
I like Raul Julia's suit in that picture. I
Oh,
wouldn't mind
I'm
picking
telling
that
you
up.
that it was awesome. It was
Look at that.
awesome. I don't think that, I thought, like I said, Carolyn Jones and John Astin broke the mold, but no, they broke the mold. I don't think anybody can come behind them and do this as well as they did.
I agree.
No way.
I think they're amazing. That's a really good pick.
Yeah.
Thank you. So you might be a fan of my next pick then. It felt only right that the next pick would be Addams Family 2, Family Values.
Of course. Oh, that was good. That was good.
Because
I
it's
love this
everything
one.
that you love about the first one, but like 100% wilder, in my opinion.
My favorite scene, I think it's in this one, where they were supposed to be doing the Thanksgiving
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
And Tuesday turns around and does the speech for the indigenous people of the world about how the white people burned their land and took. Oh my gosh, perfection, perfection. It was really, really good.
And did I see Joan Cusack?
Yes. So
Yes,
Joan
you
Cusack
did.
plays Debbie.
I'm a fan of anything that Joan Cusack does.
Well, you've never seen this?
I have never seen this.
Oh
No.
my gosh, August.
August.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, Debbie plays, oh, she is so nefariously funny and just scrumptious in this. She is trying to marry Uncle Fester, who's played by Christopher Lloyd, but she's like a black widow.
Oh.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
I definitely need to check this
You
out.
have to check it out. She is unbelievable in this. I became a
Oh,
fan of
wow.
hers immediately after. I thought 16 Candles, I was a fan of hers, but I even
Ugh.
became more of a fan of hers in this.
She could do no wrong. I have not seen her in anything that I don't love her in.
Oh, yes. She's really good. All right. So what's your next one?
So my last pick, and this might be a bit of a black horse pick or black sheep pick for this, is Mortal Kombat 1.
What? Wow, that's so random.
Why is this scary to you?
So
Why do we have to watch this
It's
before
porno,
Halloween?
right?
it's top 5 Halloween picks. And I don't know the context. I have the context for how I got here.
Okay.
And that's because one evening as a kid on Halloween, I walked in and they were just playing Mortal Kombat on the TV. And I watched this movie and I fell in love with it. This
Yes.
series is incredible. And it's just campy enough that I think it can count as a Halloween flick.
Mhm.
But if you're not familiar with the Mortal Kombat franchise, the cast of people that you can like fight as in the video game have all been brought to life in the best way possible in
Yeah.
this. And it is a total romp of an hour.
I love this. I absolutely love this film. And if I could say anything, the visuals in this are fantastic. It is campy, it is corny, but I don't care. I just love this movie. I think it's great. And it's
Totally looks
perfect for a
campy
Halloween
and
movie.
corny.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's such a good movie. Yeah. Get over here. My favorite one. Wow. So good.
That's amazing. I wish I had something to contribute, but I haven't seen this either.
So obviously you need to put this on your list because these are
I
things
think
that
you
you're
would like
investing in.
it.
You would really like these films. You would definitely like it.
Well,
Okay,
I love what I'm seeing.
So Annabelle, I forgot you have one more. So what's your last one?
Uh,
Or do you? Or no? Am I
That
off the
was 5.
count? That's
That was
it? That's
5.
it? That's your
Yeah.
5? All right. Oh,
All right,
this
Les,
is
let's
good.
see.
Okay.
What are yours?
So my top 5 for tonight, because I have so many. You know what? I really could not. The more I knew you all told me that we should have top 20, but I just could not stop. I think my list is up to like 45 right now, my favorite horror films. But
I'm
one
up
that
to
is always
25.
my favorite that I could say that always gives me the creep is John Carpenter's The Fog. And I'm not talking about the remake, which was horrible. I'm talking about the 1980s version with Adrian Barbeau, the supernatural horror film with, that John Carpenter wrote. And he did the music on this one too with Jamie Lee Curtis and Janet Leigh, her mom played in this one.
I remember.
And Hal Holbrook was in this also. So in this film, what I think that I really love about it is the atmosphere. And I heard that they used all these fog machines to make the fog look like it was going in a direction. They actually they made the film go backwards, I believe. They reversed the film to make it look like it was actually moving. But in this film, we have Adrienne Barbeau, who plays a radio DJ by the name of Stevie Wayne, and she lives at this. They all live on this place called it's called Spivey Point. The town is called Antonio Bay, and it's a little coastal city that only a few people go to. It's probably somewhere in Northern California, and they're celebrating their centennial celebration there, but there's a secret about the town that nobody really knows about, and that is that they betrayed a group of mariners who had leprosy, and these mariners are coming back to reclaim the lives of those who were the ancestors that betrayed them, and these mariners actually move through the fog. So they're only there for a specific time, and in that they have to take 7 they have to take 7 souls, I believe. And this is what they look like.
That's the Mariner right there.
Those are the mariners. They're part of a ship called the Elizabeth Dane. So this is a classic John Carpenter film. Has classic scares in it, and there are some things that go on like, why are you doing that? You're speaking to the but it's going to happen. Something is about to happen. That it's going to jump out at you, but it still is effective just by the mood itself.
That's amazing. I do remember this movie. I saw it a long time ago. I haven't seen it in a very long time, but I remember Adrienne Barbeau's voice being so perfect for
Yes, she
being
is
a
a very
radio DJ.
yes, she had a very sexy voice. She goes, "Hi, this is Stevie Wade." Yeah, I
Exactly.
remember that. Yes, she was. But she was a sex symbol back in those days, and I think at that time that John Carpenter was actually married to her.
Well,
Yeah,
she
they were
was.
married. She was married to her at that
I
time.
remember her being very good, and I think I recall that Jamie Lee Curtis's mom was struggling with her career at this point after having an
Yes.
amazing career. And Jamie Lee Curtis had so much success with Halloween that her mom decided to do this, thinking that she could get on the scare train.
Well, you know what did? I'm telling you, because she's always going to go down now as, being the character that she was in The Fog. It was a really, really good movie.
Yeah.
Um, but I have to watch that every Halloween because it just gives me the chills, and the thrills. And then my second movie that
Mm.
I really, really have to watch, during this year is this is more of a kids classic, but it is The Witches. And of course, we have Miss Angelica Houston again.
She is perfect in this. She is so creepy.
She is. She is. Now, this is actually being remade, I believe, for HBO Max.
Oh.
And it's going to be airing on HBO Max, I think, on the 22nd of October. But in this is a dark fantasy comedy that was directed by Nicholas Roeg, and it has Jim Henson effects. Uh, Angelica Houston plays Eva Ernst. And actually, this was a book. By the way, there was a book that was named The Witches. So
I
this is from a
remember the
children's
book.
book. Right. So Angelica Houston plays Eva Ernst, the Grand High Witch of all the witches. And Mai Zetterling plays Helga Evesham, who is the grandmother of this small boy by the name of,
Ooh.
yeah, oh, I know, she's terrible in this, Luke Evesham, played by Jason Fisher.
Look at
And
that
so
makeup.
yes, and it also has the incomparable Mr. Bean in it, who is Rowan Atkinson, is in this. This is one of my favorite films. It definitely gives you the effects. It's just like reading a fairy tale, like a kid's book that you grew up reading about evil witches. But these witches do not like children, and their whole scheme and their whole plan is the demise of children around the world.
Mm.
And so Luke, stumbles upon one of their big meetings that they're having at a hotel that he just happens to be at the hotel visiting, spending, having holiday with his grandmother. I tell you, I love this film. I love the visuals in this film. Um, the thing that I think love the most about this film is the innocence of it and the relationship between Luke and his grandmother. It's
Yeah.
just so precious and
I
it's so
remember
endearing.
I remember this film too for having that wonderful fairy tale quality and
Hmm.
then being so scared at the end. So it was
Yes.
like it had this wonderful magical, quality that you feel so drawn up into this otherly type of world, and then it takes such a sinister turn
Yep, it
that
does.
it's really fascinating. So I totally understand why you have this on your list.
It
So
totally
good.
has a Hansel and Gretel film.
Yes,
Once they're
definitely.
all happy and everything, and then they encounter the witch at the house who is enticing them. Yeah, it's such a beautifully made film. I hope that when they do the remake, that they do this justice. That is just as good because this is by far one of my favorites.
Please, please, no CGI
Yeah,
on
no
the
CGI.
remake. We can't do CGI.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
so my third film
Mhm.
is, if anybody ever asks me what is my favorite all-time films, it has to be this one. And it is Fright Night, the 1985
Oh
version of
yes.
Fright Night, okay? So this film, I know they redid this film, it just was not as good. It was not.
Mm-mm.
I saw this film in the theaters by myself.
Woo.
I used to do this often. I was terrified, but I laughed also. And this is what it is, it's the right combination of horror and comedy. And there's nothing better, as you said, August, in having that combination in a film, because once you're scared, then you can laugh it off. But in this one, this is directed by Tom Holland. This is his directorial film. Now, Tom Holland also did Child's Play and Thinner. We All Scream for Ice Cream. I mean, he is known for his horror films. And it was produced by Herb Jaffe, and it has William Ragsdale in it, who plays Charlie Brewster, and Chris Sarandon, who plays Derry Dandridge, this a vampire that moves in next door to him. And Charlie, who is always putting jokes on everybody, is trying to tell and convince everybody, his friends even, that a vampire has moved in next to him, and all these missing women in the town are actually showing up at this vampire's house and never coming out. So he enlists the help of a B movie horror actor by the name of um, Peter Vincent, played by
Peter
Roddy McDowell.
Vincent.
Yes,
Yes.
which was excellent. I mean, he just played it to the T. It was so good. I even remember there was a scene where he was going after a vampire and he didn't know that the stake was turned the other way. It was on the blunt end. I mean, just hilarity abound.
I love
Look
Um,
at that.
Yes, and the love interest, Charlie's love interest is Amanda Beer. So she plays Amy. She's this restless girlfriend that wants to have a solidified relationship, but he's not being adult enough to have a relationship. A typical teenage angst. Um, Jonathan Starr plays.
She went on to have a wonderful career too.
Yes, she did, which is Married with Children. She went on to
Yep.
have that career.
And a
Uh,
director, and
yeah,
quite a career.
she was beautiful in this film. I mean, because
Yeah.
there is a dynamic in this where she changes from innocence to maturity. And I'm telling you, it was what a change. What a change. It also has Jonathan Stark, who plays Billy Cole, who is the ghoul that serves um, Jerry Dandridge. And then, of course, Stephen Jeffries, who plays Ed, or Evil Ed, who is the really geeky friend that everybody makes fun of. I tell you, by far, one of my favorite, I'm telling you, one of the best films I've ever had. And when I think about this, it has also Chris Sarandon is so exquisitely charming in this. It has
Isn't
one
he
of the
great?
best. It has one of the best seduction scenes in it I've ever seen. From innocence to knowing, I guess, from not knowing to knowing, this ends up happening. Now, this film is rated R, by the way, so I just want to tell everybody, I'm gonna give that disclaimer. This film is rated R, but this is a good film. Story wise, creep value wise, comedy wise, excellent. And the remake
One
has nothing on it.
one of my favorites, one of my all-time favorites. And the basement scene toward the end with
Yes.
the face
Yes.
makeup
Yeah. Don't
of
tell
the
anybody. Don't tell anybody, because if you're going to watch it, you don't want to tell that. But
that is crazy.
I screamed so loud when I was in the theater by myself, sitting in the corner in the dark, watching it. It was unexpected, but
Unexpected
perfect.
is true.
Yeah. Perfect film. So my next one is one that I think is rooted in a lot of truth. And I think that this is why it terrified me so much. And that is The Serpent and the Rainbow. So The Serpent and the Rainbow was a film that was made in 1988. It was directed by Wes Craven. It has Bill Pullman, who plays Dennis Allen, who is an investigator for a pharmaceutical company that goes to Haiti to find out what is used in the ingredients to zombify people. He knows of a story of a man who died and then came back to life. And they said that the people said that he was a zombie, which um, he's an ethnobotanist, I guess. He goes there and discovers this, and he gets immersed into the culture there. But not only that, the politics of what was going on during that time in Haiti. This is the time of Papa Doc, Duvalier. It was such a time of unrest in Haiti. So there's a lot of things going on for an American national to be in Haiti at this time. It was a dangerous time for him being there. But not only that, he gets involved in voodoo and the results of voodoo. Now, voodoo could be good or bad, as people who believe in it say. So he gets caught in between the worlds of good white voodoo and black voodoo. Let's just say. Um, this film was so scary to me because in
This
my
is the
history
scene.
growing up,
This
yeah.
is the scene.
So
It's
not only
crazy.
that, there's a couple of things in this. The thing about voodooism is that every person that has ever been found that was somehow given this drug were quite aware what was going on. They were actually buried alive. They couldn't do anything
Wow.
about it. Their bodies went, well, whatever this drug is, or whatever these ancient ingredients is that have come all, of course, from Africa, because this is an African tradition. these people were immobile and they could not scream out, they couldn't do anything. So what happens when someone ties you to voodoo, ties you to being a zombie, they come and rescue you out of the grave, and then they make you their zombie by continuing to feed you whatever the contents of this elixir is. This film was, every time I see it, it gives me the willies, because of its indigenous practices and mysticism. And it's something that I don't take lightly, but I thought that they captured it very well in this film.
I remember my parents wouldn't let me see this movie. I
Oh,
remember
wow.
when it came out, they were like, "No, you can't see this movie."
I've
'Cause
never heard of this movie.
oh,
What?
I
Oh
have
my
since
goodness.
I have since seen it, and it is a
I've
doozy. It is
It's
a
just
doozy.
learned
chilling.
about this.
Yeah.
Annabelle, you have to see that movie. You have to see that movie. And then we definitely have to talk about it. Yes. Hash says, didn't the skeleton key use the same idea? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. So that stuff, all that voodoo stuff, y'all, is real. That's all I'm going to say. Ain't nothing to be messing with. Santeria, all that. There ain't nothing for you to be messing with. So that's why this film was so effective.
Yeah. I thought
It,
this was a great movie.
it was amazing.
Visually, it was a great movie
Yeah,
also.
visually too. They actually did film it in Haiti, which you know that Haiti and the Dominican Republic are the same island, which is Hispaniola, and Haiti is the Dominican Republic is separated by mountains from Haiti, but you can go through the mountains. They have all these beautiful pools and rivers and stuff. I mean, just a beautiful, beautiful island. I miss it there very much because I used to go to the Dominican Republic all the time. I miss it there. I miss mi gente in la República Dominicana. I miss them. So I have to tell you, it just was just beautifully done, beautifully done. My last film that I would like to recommend to everybody to see and definitely put on their list is The Eye. And I'm not talking about the remake. I'm talking about the Asian version that came out in 2002 that was directed by the Pang brothers. One thing I could say about what happens a lot of times when we try to Americanize an Asian film, it is just not as effective. I don't know what it is. I don't know what formula we are missing when we try to transfer that over, but I think it has something to do with just the fact that our language, the English language, it's not rich, if I could say that. And so it just doesn't have the same effect or feel. This film is by far one of the creepiest films also that I have ever seen, and also on my top 5, and it's my reason for that. So in this film, this young lady, her name is Wong Kar Moon, or we call her Moon, was played by Angelica Lee. She is blind, and she is given an eye transplant, which is a new type of, I guess, they convinced her to take on some type of new type of surgery, experimental surgery. But what happens as a result of her having this eye transplant is that she's able to see spirits, and the spirits warn her of impending doom.
Mm.
But the things that she sees, that she encounters, I tell you, well, first of all, in the film, the way that they filmed it, you don't know if it's a real person or if it's a ghost. That's all I'm going to say. You don't know because she sees them just like normal people.
Oh, so yeah, it's one of the I like those movies. I like when they kind of add that fact of, is the person reasonable or are they just having an
Yes,
unreasonable experience?
exactly. Yes, your statement exactly. Um, that's what I think that they did about this. And the other thing too is Asian ghosts are very different from American ghosts.
How
Asian ghosts,
so?
I think that when we imagine ghosts or we see ghosts here in America, we don't have them having some kind of a desire that binds them to the earth. The thing about Asian ghosts is they always have something that binds them to the earth. For instance, they have hungry ghosts, ghosts who cannot fill themselves with food, but they're hungry. So they're
Mm.
always around food, trying to eat food. And on the day that they honor their dead, they actually leave out food for these ghosts to eat.
Mm.
because something that is so human to us and so basic is something that the ghost does not have. And that's the thing. If it's unrequited, it becomes dangerous in a sense. And also, there's the system of honor. You not honoring your ancestors may cause to have some retribution. That's not the case here. So our culture is not as profound as that, and I think that that's what's so terrifying though, because this is a culture that is bound by ancestry. You must honor those who went before you. So
Well,
I
this is
think that that's what's so terrifying, and I think that honestly is the missing component in a lot of the American translations of the movie.
this is definitely one for my list.
Yeah, you
I
have to
don't.
watch
This
it.
is completely sort of not in my wheelhouse. So I love movies like this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
this is
very
one
beautiful.
outside of like my radar and everything, but it looks like it would be one that I would love.
You will absolutely love it. And then if these were we were introducing all these new films to one another, when we finally do watch these films, I have to hear what you think about it. I really
Oh,
do.
I'm
So
definitely
let's
watching
discuss about
this.
it. But those are my top five for this week. I will
Very
have
good.
another top five next week, and you know why I love it. But yeah, I think that if you've never seen these films, and by the way, audience, this film is rated PG-13. So definitely, you can, you know, above 13 years of age, you can watch this film. But unbelievably wonderful film, and very beautifully directed. Really
Well, it
done.
looked really good.
Yeah.
I think I have more to look at on both from both of your lists.
Yep. Absolutely. I
Very
can.
cool.
I can too. So this evening, I'm really excited. I'm so excited to do this. So last week, or we talked about a week before last, I believe that we talked about a game called Phasmophobia that's out, that's being powered by Steam. It's a four-player game that is on the PC right now that you could buy in beta for $13, where you and a team of three other people go investigating a house, a haunted house. You have all of your equipment, your EVP recorder, your EVP recorder, I think, EMF recorder, all of the things that you need for an official ghost hunting. And it actually looks very real. It feels very real. It has a very myopic view because you're viewing everything through the lens of a flashlight. And it is, we played it before. Annabelle actually, you know, let me sit in one of her games. And I'm telling you, I was terrified because it was just too authentic for me. So we're actually going to watch Annabelle and her team get in a little gameplay this evening. We're going to watch what happens in the game. And maybe, just maybe, you might be somebody who wants to purchase this game while
What's
it's
the
in
name
its
of the
beta
game again?
form.
It's
It's
pretty
called
Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia.
like a search option.
So can you introduce who your team is for
Great.
us, Annabelle?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Huge
Just
improvement.
scrolling
So,
through, yeah.
Yeah.
hey guys, you're on stream now.
Howdy.
Howdy.
So
Hi,
we
everybody.
have Artoria, I believe, in the brown jacket.
Hello.
Or no, that's the woman in white.
Hello.
And then we have Ventus over here in the brown
He's
jacket.
sleeping.
He's found out.
And if I'm not mistaken, he looks like he's playing in VR. Is that correct?
I mean, no, I couldn't set up my cameras properly. They were not aligned. It took
Okay.
like 30 minutes, and I was like, I'm done.
So did that come through for you all okay? Are you able to hear their responses to me?
Yes, yes. And where's your third player?
If I open the stream,
So
probably.
our third player is having a little bit of technical difficulty,
But I couldn't hear.
and I do not know if they will make it to this session.
All right. So we'll
All
just follow the
right.
three of you.
Let's do this, you guys. I'm so excited
Let
about
me
this.
do one last double check with them real
There's a
quick.
bit of a delay on the stream, so
Okay. So
Can
this
you
is their-
can you bring
this is
my
their
screen back
staging
down
area?
real quick?
Oh, yeah, sure. This is their staging area. So they set up the investigation like they would normally do if you were watching like Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures or whatever. They have a staging area where they have, you know, like a truck or something like that where they go out there and they get their equipment. And this is how the game actually starts. So you're going, you're getting equipment, you get the best equipment you're going to need for this particular investigation. You start off with something simple, I suppose, like the EVP recorder or the EMF.
Or a camera. I saw a camera there.
Yeah, yeah.
Different things that you can use to sort of detect what's going on. And I think from what I understand, I think you get sort of different tasks that you have to do
Once y'all are ready, you can ready up.
during the investigation. Like you have to determine what kind of ghost it is, or there are different things. Let's see. Oh yeah, if you look on the wall there, I think it tells you. Maybe not there. I think it tells you somewhere in there what your different tasks are that you have to
That
accomplish.
you have to
So
accomplish, right? And understand too, the ghost or may not be happy that you're trying to rile them up to see if they're there. So, and they can actually kill you.
I think these are definitely malevolent spirits. I don't think these are nice. This isn't Casper the Friendly Ghost you're going after.
Definitely not. We can't hear you, Annabelle.
Sorry about that.
Yes.
They're definitely malevolent.
Yes.
Okay.
Which, of course, I mean, that makes it that much more scary. I think what makes it so effective is the lack of sound. You go into so many games and they just bombard you with different types of sounds.
Mm-hmm.
And here it seems to be, I think it's in beta form at this moment, but
Yeah, it is.
but I think they are. Hash is like, no, thank you. We haven't even got to the scary part yet, Hash. Come on. So I think with this particular one, the lack of sound, that you're just in silence, and it's just you and your partners trying to figure out what's going on. Oh, and the other thing that I believe is true about this is that the ghost can react to what you say and how you interact with it in a different way, in ways that are non-predictable. We go through so many games where you just have to go through the script and there's only one outcome and there's only one way to interact, and it compels you to go through this storyline. With this, you go in and it's up to you to determine what you do and how you interact with the ghost, and then it reacts according to what you say and how you interact with it, which I think is just so cool, because you just don't know. You have no way to predict what's going to happen.
Sorry, one sec. I'm fixing the stream, and then we'll be good to start it.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that I mean, it's almost as if you're going into a silent house. There's no, blaring TV or anything like that. You hear everything. You hear the ticking of the clock. You hear your shoes walking on the floor. You hear all of those things that you would commonly hear if you're doing an investigation in a house such as this.
Yes, and I think there are different levels of ghosts that you can see in this particular game. So some are really, really bad, and some are just really bad.
So prepare yourself, turn off your lights, audience.
Yeah, this game is one that the first night I played it, my partner had gone to sleep, and when I went to bed, I laid awake for like 2 hours straight, just sitting there because it felt so real.
But when we were on here trying to set this up and practice this connection, Annabelle, you were like, you kept running back out of the house. You couldn't even do the investigation.
She did the same too when I did it, and I'm screaming in her ear. Look, the rabbit is gone, because there was a rabbit in the middle of the floor of the home, and it just disappeared. The next thing we know, we turn around and it's in the laundry room, and I'm like, I'm out. I have no control, because Annabelle wasn't running out of the house, but I was already out of the house. I had no control over Annabelle.
Yeah, you were ready to go.
I was like, let's go.
I did exactly the opposite. I just wanted to go in, like, let's check everything out. Let's antagonize the ghost. Let's see what happens.
No, thank you.
I had the exact. Are we ready to go now?
I think so.
I can hear you guys. Hello?
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
okay, we got audio. We can do
awesome.
this.
Oh, we have one other person.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
So we are going to go, and our friend Artoria here has put on a professional level contract, which is a very difficult one.
Oh.
All right. Well, hopefully I don't blow it.
You're going to be great. You're live streaming to all of our fans.
If it lags out.
Don't leave.
Don't
So-
leave.
So, do you all know what the the first task is you have to do?
So we're going to load into the game, and it's going to give us like the objective board, which will give us the tasks as well as the name of the ghost. And for anyone that's not familiar, this is basically a whodunit. We have to gather evidence that confirms that it's like one type of ghost over another. So it could be like a
tell you lots of
poltergeist.
details about the ghost, like if they'll respond to a group or if you have to be alone.
So right now we're just waiting for people to load in.
That sounds good. And then it's just like the default
and the
action to pick
objectives will
anything
pop
up,
up
just
right
like
here.
clicking
Got it.
So you can hear them right now
Just pick stuff up.
coming through my audio, but as soon as we are like a certain distance apart, we have to talk on radio if you want to hear the other people talking.
Interesting.
Ghost's name is Paul Moore.
Be careful, you're going in blind.
Capture a photo of dirty water in the sink. Capture a photo of
we
the
got these
ghost.
2 photos. Great.
Okay.
Oh, there's all your EMF and different devices that you.
Did I
have to
see a
do.
cross? Did I see a cross?
F is to pick up. Oh wait.
You
Sorry,
did. That's a
the-
crucifix. So the crucifix.
I know,
is-
Les. I know you
if
grabbed the
ghost decides to
crucifix.
kill us,
I grab the flashlight down
And
here.
where is the holy water?
This is a strong flashlight.
So I have the EMF and a temperature reader.
Who has
So
the
you're
camera?
only able to
I
have
have
how many items are you allowed to
Iceman
hold
just
in your
grabbed
hand?
a,
So you
thermometer.
can hold 3 items in your hand at once. Yeah, it is exactly Clue meets Fear.
The yellow thing on top.
So you can hold 3 items at once,
That's all.
and
Light.
one of them you want as a flashlight because, as
Right,
we
so
will
right-click to
definitely
grab
find
flashlight.
out, the ghost will flip the breaker on you.
And then,
Oh,
so you grab the thermometer.
And then if he flips the
switch
breaker, you
scroll,
better know where it's at, or else you're walking around in the dark.
And then you can press T to turn on your
I am so
Um,
ready to get out of this room and go haunting.
So this is our sanity levels. As that goes down, the team will be more likely to experience a ghost event. And then here's a map of the house. So actually, this
and
is
it will start messing around with you.
There's the house.
You go to the house.
Our first view of the house looks like a 2-level.
He only responds alone.
it's a duplex.
okay. So Iceman can go in the room alone and start saying it, right?
It might be a 3-level. It might have a basement.
Name on voice.
Oh, good. Let's go. Let's go to the
We have
house.
3 sticks down.
Iceman, it's B to use the radio, by the way.
Oh, just B. What does B do? It allows us to
Talk on the radio.
That's a,
Wait, Iceman don't know how to do this investigation?
This is Iceman's first game.
Oh,
Come on.
And
We
he's
got to
on the
listen to
hard map
Iceman.
y'all gonna die.
difference between doing like voice chat and like
You got to get into the house. Here you go. We're going to the house.
How far away you are. If we're far away from each other, the radio's better.
Alright, I'm upstairs.
Okay, we can take downstairs, Ventus, if you want to go up there.
Can you turn on the lights, or are you always
No.
doing this?
Why do you do it?
So we can turn on the lights and stuff. So downstairs,
Make
it
sure you turn on lights as much as you can. Because this is professional, your sanity will go down really fast.
He said, "Don't turn on the lights," or do?
he did say turn on the lights.
Okay.
Found him. He's in this room up here.
Oh,
Found
they,
it, thrown
they
it
found
out.
the ghost already?
Actually, that was Breaker, my bad. You flipped the Breaker.
Oh, so the ghost flipped the breaker?
Yeah, so the ghost of the breaker on it's like immediately. So if we said his name, he would probably start hunting us, which you'll know because my flashlight will start
how do
flickering.
you interact with the lights?
Oh,
Oh,
interesting.
you just left click on the lights to. You have to left click on the switches, but the ghost flipped the breaker, so everything's off right now.
Go down to the
Oh,
basement. Go down to the basement, Annabelle.
Let's go into the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm assuming
Ah.
Breaker's probably outside.
Oh, look, there's 2 people down there.
Are we good down here?
You flip it again.
You have that turned on, right? With right click.
I think he might be down in the basement.
We're checking it right now.
Too. There's the breaker, right?
Activities on the track.
Oh, I just flipped the breaker on them by accident.
Your EMF reader doesn't show anything.
Yeah, so we haven't picked up any evidence yet.
What happens when it does? Does it turn color or something?
It'll beep
Well,
up all the
yeah,
way
it
to the
goes up
right.
3 lights.
Like properly.
If it starts getting cold, basically.
Garage.
Okay, that's how we know.
Yeah.
Or that makes sense.
Give us a sign. Give us a sign.
Are you here?
Are you here? Give us a sign. So Iceman, the more you talk to it, it will actually respond to different things. Like if you tell it to move stuff,
Tell it to play the piano.
it will. It will play the piano. Can you
Eddie,
play the
quit.
piano for us? Play the piano.
Can you move something? Let's check out upstairs, Orlando.
Move something. Give us a sign.
I
Give
haven't
us a
gotten
sign.
anything on. Wait, I saw your breath just now. Do we have a? Yeah, it's cold in here.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
it's very
cold.
in the middle.
Give us a sign.
And there's a
I'll
cup on
grab
the
the
floor.
spirit box real quick.
Do we got crucifix?
I can grab one. So we're
No,
gonna get a
go back.
crucifix.
Give him the crucifix. He needs the crucifix.
Here, you guys go grab the crucifix.
Okay.
Let's stay out here. Let's stay around here.
Oh, that's -9. Okay, so what we're gonna, if you press J, you can open up your journal and add freezing temps at the last page for one of your evidence.
I should throw the crucifix on the ground away.
To freezing temps.
Can you write in the book?
Right in the book.
Oh, you only response alone. So
Okay, Iceman, you want to tell him to write in the book?
Yeah.
Get a tripod in there.
Who put the cross on the ground? Who put the
I
crucifix on
gotta
the
stay in the
ground?
house, don't I? I can't leave for the stream.
keep your lights on. Yeah, we need to go somewhere else.
Yeah, let's go upstairs.
Can you write in the book?
Oh,
Oh, he's definitely down there.
Can you write in the book?
I got
how do you
Come with me, Orlando.
how do you know that? How do you know he's down there?
Because he turned all the lights off.
turned
So
all
we
the
know he's
lights
down here
off.
because we found evidence.
Yeah. He
Oh,
turned the
okay.
lights off. They like being in the dark.
Is it writing in the book? Can you move the cup?
I like how he knows where like the main switch is. That's
Oh,
a very
I'm getting EMF readings. EMF readings.
Write a message on the book.
Oh, go back to
Well,
the
back here.
room where you got EMF readings over there. There he is. Oh, there's something on something fell off the wall, right? A painting over to the right.
You turn on the TV.
So I definitely got EMF readings in here. Yeah, so something moved.
Right
If
there.
you guys want to leave me,
Yeah,
if
he moved the book too.
you guys want to leave me alone in here, I can see if we can get more E EMF.
I want to bring the spirit.
Yes, leave me alone in here. Perfect.
Eddie, stop. August, stop.
Oh my god. Are they just leaving their stuff?
I don't know where the book.
Put it on
Oh,
the floor.
that's right there.
It's on the floor. By the
Can you talk on the spirit box for us? Give me a sign. Are you there? How old are you? What's your name? Hello? Are you there? Give me a sign. Give me a sign.
Oh.
We have EMF 5.
EMF 5? Okay.
Give me a sign. Talk on the spirit box. Oh, he wrote in the book too.
Oh, we wrote the book. Let's see what it says.
Oh, he wrote in the book and EMF 5?
Yep.
What does it say? Oh,
Alright. So that's
Some
it,
Satanist
right?
symbols.
It's for sure EMF 5?
Yeah,
What are
it
those
was definitely
symbols?
EMF 5.
Hash says he saw an awe. What's an awe?
And awe is like
Paul
an
Moore, can you give us
axe.
a sign?
Oh, an
An
axe.
Because send link to anybody.
Paul Moore, can you give us a sign?
Don't we have to go back into the room?
Are you sure it's EMF 5? Because that's not a ghost in the book.
That's not a ghost in the book. I thought it was EMF 5.
I saw EMF 5.
Wait, I just heard something. I swear I heard
Or
something.
maybe we should go to the basement and flip the breaker.
Yeah, let's go to the basement. Definitely. Creepy noises.
It's probably safer
Doing a
down
spirit
here.
box session in there. Floating orb. Just
Oh,
saw
somebody
floating
saw an orb?
Is that what they just said? An orb?
That's for
Yeah,
sure.
somebody saw an orb.
So, okay, I think that's all the evidence we need, right?
Yeah.
Paul Moore,
Wait, I just saw something.
the shadow.
I think
Oh,
it was
maybe
the
I saw
shadow.
something. Yeah,
Paul
shadow.
Moore, can you give us a sign? Trying to get them locked in
So it's
there.
your Ray. All right, so we can leave and start the next contract.
So we had Ghost Orb, and then we had Ghost Writing.
It's a Japanese yurei.
Yeah, we
That is the ghost
see.
type. So let me go in here, and then here we can read about it.
Usually they're a lot more active on professional. So press J.
So a yurei is a
and go to the
is a
last
ghost
page, and then
that has returned
bottom.
to the physical
scroll over
world,
and read.
usually for the purpose to revenge or hatred. Its strengths are they have a stronger effect on people's sanity, and its weakness is smudging the yurei's room would cause it to not wander around the location for a long
So we have
time.
freezing temperatures.
So this was actually a pretty tame session.
It's actually Ghost
This was
Writing,
a hard
Ghost
one,
Orb.
and none of us died, which usually happens on this stuff.
Let's
Should we
see.
try
Let's
one
try
more?
one more. Let's try one more.
Oh wait, no, are we going to
Dirty
do the
water and a
objectives?
photo of the ghost.
Are we going for the
I didn't
objectives?
see any.
We
Do
might
want
get to.
for stream.
Yeah, let's do it for the stream. They want to see the ghost.
All right, so.
All right. So who's got cameras?
Does that work
I
for
have a
you?
camera and
Or
then
you-
Yes.
All right.
the ghost got the breaker, so the lights are out.
Nabs, you should take some sanity pills.
There's the,
Oh, they have sanity pills.
check the water
I know. I just took my sanity pills, so now I'm feeling sane.
Gonna be in the kitchen.
Got my crucifix. Okay, this ghost
corn on the cob.
is nothing. Did you get your corn on the cob?
All right, I'll wait for everybody so we can go in at the same time.
What's a corn on the cob?
I got my corn on the cob.
Your corn on the cob, you're unstoppable. Wait, do you have the lighter
Alright.
for that?
All right. Oh, don't use that because then we won't see the ghost.
That's the last resort.
Anything else? Yeah.
So have you seen the ghost, Annabelle?
Turn it back on?
In this game, I have not, but I have seen the ghost in other games. Actually, there was one game where it was just walking towards me, and I took my headphones off and died. So
Don't use those. Smudge.
let's see if we can get the ghost for
Paul
you guys.
Moore, show yourself.
Paul Moore, where are you?
Okay, I'm out of here. I'm definitely out of here.
Paul Moore. Paul Moore, where
Paul
are you?
Moore, where are you?
Paul Moore.
Paul
Wait,
Moore,
what are the
show
objectives again?
yourself.
You have to take it. Somebody needs to take pictures of
Most of it.
varying things.
And see the take a picture of the ghost and picture dirty water.
Oh, let's turn on some sink water.
Hash wants to know how many times you screamed in this game.
Oh, a lot. Oh,
Paul
what's the breaker
Moore,
on us?
can you give us a sign?
I love how do people remember the
Paul
objectives?
Moore, can you show
I
yourself?
usually forget them as soon as I'm in this place because it's scary.
Oh, you just-
What are you calling the ghost, Homer?
Who did it again?
Paul Moore.
Paul Moore is his name?
Paul Moore, give us a sign.
Paul Moore.
I'm at-
Yeah, Paul is in Paul. Paul.
Show yourself.
What's that?
That's salt
Moore
that
is-
someone put down. I guess they're trying to
I
catch
really
him.
like we're your friends, Paul. Show yourself.
Paul Moore.
I just want to talk to you.
Paul Moore. Paul Moore. Paul Moore.
Can you try some Yo Mama jokes and see what happens?
Oh, Paul Moore. Paul Moore. I'm gonna. If I keep telling those jokes, he might show up.
Good. That's what we're trying to do.
Paul Moore.
I don't think he likes his name.
I like Ure better.
I like
Doesn't
Ure
want this
better
ring.
too.
I still see my breath, so he's still in here.
I'll go up here so when they
Paul
get.
Moore.
I don't know. This ghost might be like Casper that we're trying to cleanse out of here.
Paul Moore, your mom.
I'm gonna scare that person.
Somebody
Good.
said, "Problem with your mama what?"
Paul Moore, show yourself. Everybody be in a room alone or something.
What are some good Yo Mama jokes that you can tell Paul Moore?
You really want
Paul Moore.
anything out of him if you will.
Paul Moore, where are you? Paul Moore. Paul Moore. Paul.
Wait, the lights went out.
I'm locked in here. I'm definitely about to die. Oh no.
Oh no! Oh
Oh no.
Died.
Uh-oh.
no! Oh wait.
That was Paul Moore breathing on you?
He breathed on someone. Who's alive? Check.
It was Orlando.
Oh, what was that? Oh, I just got a picture of him. I got a picture of him.
Oh.
Oh gosh, he
There's
died.
something up here.
Yeah, he was
Yeah, I
definitely
just
up here
got-
behind me, and he locked the door on me.
Any dirty water?
Oh wait, there's a bathroom back here.
I think you can hit the toilet.
Paul Moore, Yo Mama's so fat, I took a picture of her last Christmas and it's still printing.
Eddie, are you trying to get us killed? Because that's how you get us killed. So that water looks pretty clean to me. Paul Moore, Paul Moore, Paul Moore, Paul Moore.
Paul Moore, Yo Mama's so ugly. When she tried to join an ugly contest, they said, sorry, no professionals.
That ghost is gonna hear that,
Poor Orlando.
and we both know where that ghost is coming.
Orlando.
Sorry, Orlando, you had to die for the good of the stream.
It was his first time. I knew he was gonna die.
All right.
Yo Mama is so fat, when she was at Walmart, she lowered the prices.
Paul Moore, Paul Moore, Paul Moore, Paul Moore, Paul Moore, Paul Moore.
Wow. I haven't
Wait,
ever-
the water's dirty. The water's dirty in the toilet.
That doesn't look that dirty, does it?
All right, we need dirty water.
Seems clean to me.
That water looked
Oh,
dirty.
right here. Oh no, never mind. That's just fine.
You have dirty water?
Paul Moore, Yo Mama is so ugly, she made One Direction go in another direction.
Or can you make some dirty water?
That one's corny.
You want me to share those with Paul?
Absolutely.
Paul Moore,
Oh. That's what.
Yo Mama.
Yo Mama is so fat, her belly button gets home 15 minutes before she does.
You've been working on these, August.
Oh, Google is a magical thing.
Or-
Paul Moore, Paul Moore, Paul Moore, Paul Moore, Paul Moore.
Sign.
We have this ghost.
Paul Moore, give us a sign.
He knows not to mess with us.
The book moved. Oh, it's coming. He's by me. Right next to me.
Oh, let's see, let's see. Are you
This
hiding?
man,
Where are
this
we?
ghost just wanted to have a night at home, eating his popcorn and binge watching.
Did you guys hear that? Hey.
Someone died.
Yeah, that was definitely Iceman. I heard the ghost go, hey, and then he died.
Oh,
Realized Iceman. Rest in peace.
Hey,
that
butt up.
is an unfortunate death position.
Oh no, what a way to die.
When we die,
Take a photo for the stream. Or maybe,
poor Iceman. Wait, when are we going back here?
I think we finished
So I've
the
seen
objectives.
to the- Yeah, I've only gotten a picture of it.
Oh, can we see a picture of it?
Are you able to show us the picture, or does that show up after the match?
Press J and look in the journal. Like scroll to the left. until you see the photo of the ghost.
That does not look like a photo of a ghost.
I see darkness in those photos.
Does that mean you got to go back in and get the photo?
I think we are.
Are
We
you
already
good?
that photo counts, right? Or you want to go back in?
Yeah. We didn't get Dirty Water or Ghost event yet for some reason. I'm cool with not losing all my stuff.
Yeah, I'm cool with. We let the other people die for the good of the stream, didn't we?
But we need
And
to
that's
see
how
it.
you
We need to
catch a
see
ghost.
it.
We tried to find it. We tried to find it. Sometimes
all
they
we
don't
got
want to
was
come
the
out. They just wanna
breathing.
Listen,
be
if you
in
want to see the
shadows.
ghost, then you have to go get the game, August. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you so much, Annabelle. Thank you,
Yes.
team.
So
Thank you for
welcome.
walking us through the experience of phasmophobia. It was really good, and I was terrified.
I don't know about the Ghost event one, but
Oh,
That
wow.
was
So
totally
thank you.
fun, and I'm
Yeah.
definitely going back and getting it.
Yep. I told you I would get it if I don't have to play a spirit board, but then obviously I don't have to pick up the spirit board, so the good. I don't have to use that. Is that
Yeah.
usually in the objectives?
Sorry, say again.
Do you have to use the spirit board? Is that part of the
No,
objectives?
no, you get bonus money if you do though.
Oh no.
You
If
get
can't
you
bonus
be
money for
tempted.
being
I
brave
won't do
enough
that.
to use the Hasbro board game of a Ouija board.
Oh no. No,
You can't
thank
be
you.
tempted for a couple bucks more.
Nope. Nope. I don't play nobody's spirit board, honey. No, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Annabelle. Please say thank you to the team.
Yeah,
hope-
I'll say thank you to him real quick for you guys.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Please do. And I hope we get to meet them in gameplay at some point.
They're always around. So if you follow at Annabelle_Chimpton and send me a message, I will always play Phasmophobia with you.
All right. And Dead by Daylight as well.
I
right.
love it.
So, like we always do, we're going to wrap our show this evening with highlighting someone who is out there missing, and we're hoping that maybe you can help find this person. Tonight, we're going to feature Carla Rodriguez. Carla has been missing for a while. She's female. She is Hispanic. She has a small mole above her right eye. The FBI is asking that they are offering a reward of $5,000 for any leads or whereabouts to Carla Rodriguez. Additional available money is available. They're asking if you have any information regarding her to call the Las Vegas Division of the FBI at 702-385-1281. That's 702-385-1281, or your local FBI office or the nearest American embassy or consulate if she has been taken out of the country. So this is a time-lapse photo of her. You can call and give an anonymous tip, but any information that you could provide in finding her would be appreciated. I'm sure her family misses her and loves her very much. We pray for all of you who are out there who are missing a loved one this evening. We'd like to say good night, and we'll see you next Friday.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.